So Joe Biden, during a terrible MSNBC pre-recorded but live interview, which means they recorded it beforehand, but they're showing it to people as if it's live because they need to instill confidence in people that Joe Biden is not going crazy. But anyways, during this interview, he said something crazy about Medicare for All. Even if it passed through the House and the Senate, Joe Biden would veto the bill.
Veto question. Let's flash forward. Your president, Bernie Sanders, is still active in the Senate. He manages to get Medicare for All through the Senate in some compromised version, the Elizabeth Warren version or other version. Nancy Pelosi gets a version of it through the House of Representatives. It comes to your desk. Do you veto it?
I would veto anything that delays providing the security and the certainty of health care being available now. If they got that through and by some miracle, and there was an epiphany that occurred, and some miracle occurred that said, okay, it's passed, then you got to look at the cost. I want to know, how did they find the $35 trillion? What is that doing? Is it going to significantly raise taxes on the middle class, which it will? What's going to happen? Look, my opposition isn't to the principle that you should have Medicare. I mean, everybody, health care should be a right in America. My opposition relates to whether or not, A, it's doable, two, what the cost is, and what the consequences for the rest of the budget are. How are you going to find $35 trillion over the next 10 years without having profound impacts on everything from taxes for middle class and working class people, as well as the impact on the rest of the budget?
So how are corporatists, moderates, and centrists even trying to play for progressive votes? They are not for universal health care, universal child care. They are not for actual climate action. They are not for banning fracking. They are not for canceling student debt or health debt. They are not for, ending greed in general. They are not for a wealth tax. They are not for anything really progressive. And Joe Biden had some people yelling out at his rally, some protesters and demonstrators, and he called them Bernie bros. But guess what? One of the people who were demonstrating, she was a young African-American woman who just had, I think, a family member who died from cancer and had tons of medical bills, or stories like that. That's who the people usually are that Biden called Bernie bros. They are divisive. They are pushing us out. We are trying to bring in policies that are good for people, that eliminate greed, that every other nation in the world does. The coronavirus outbreak right now, economists suggest that other European countries are going to fare much better than the U.S. economically and socially because of their social programs. The social programs we fail to adopt because of our greed, our gluttony, our corruption, our freaking supply side economics, trickle-down economics that we apply no matter if it's the left or the right in power. This is what Bernie or bust voters mean when they say they don't see a difference between Trump or Biden, or that they won't vote for Biden because Biden should be the conservative party. Bernie should be the left party. Donald Trump should be the ultra far right crazy fascist party, like in any other country. In any other country, Donald Trump is Marine Le Pen in France. He's the far right person. Like, it's crazy where our political system is right now. And Joe Biden citing cost for Medicare for All. Cost. Oh my goodness. When every single study says we are going to save money in a Medicare for All system, he ignores that. He is obviously just in the pockets of the medical companies. He was for a single payer program back in 2007 before all of the pharmaceutical companies started giving him contributions. It is a bogus answer. He knows it's bogus. Actual progressives know it's bogus. And I'm looking at you, Elizabeth Warren, for not making a choice right now, for not endorsing anybody, for not being in this fight when there's so many people on the ground right now pushing for progressive politics, pushing for the entire movement. But you are sitting out. You are showing that the progressive movement was an accessory for you. It's not your life. You didn't come to it from a moral conclusion. Sure, your policies do work. You have great policies, but you came to us as a result of your policies. We come to the policies as a result of who we are and what we fight for. Big difference. If you don't come out and fight for us right now, you're completely canceled. 2024, you're a goner. We're going to try to primary you with whatever we got. And if you run for president, I am never supporting you, never donating to you. Like, there's no way you can make it up for, like, at this point. 2016 and now this. Come on, Warren. But Biden, everything. Yep, throw the progressives out the window. Let's see how you could win an election without us.
Every leader of a generation called a communist. They're lying about the profits in the same way that Obama did. The puppets say they're fighting for us, lying about their promises. Every 4 years graduating